Hey there, everybody. This is Jemmy with Curve the Cube, your arts, entertainment, and media podcast from South Florida, aimed at inspiring you. Yes, you. I'm looking at you. Talking to you. You to pursue your passions and your dreams. And there is no one I know of who epitomizes that better than today's guest, Jason Pennington, or soon to be Jason Pizza Pennington of the KVJ Show. He's awesome. He doesn't give a crap what anybody thinks about him. He lives life to the fullest. He doesn't take any day for granted. If you're not a fan or know of the show, let me tell you, the KVJ Show, first of all, it can be found on WRMF, which is 97.9 in South Florida. They're on the air from 6 to 10, and then they have an after-show podcast that airs. And you can find them not only live on the radio on 97.9 WRMF, but also you can find them on their podcast, KVJ Show podcast, the WRMF podcast app. You can find them there, and their podcasts are phenomenal. They not only do they show you every side of them, but they're honest and they're funny and they're awesome. And so catch them. You can catch them on the radio during the show. You can catch them on KVJ TV through their apps, or you can watch what goes on in the studio, because trust me, the show is that crazy. You don't want to miss a minute of it. But tune into KVJ Show every single Monday through Friday from 6 to 10. And then honestly, whenever you damn well please, because their podcast is always available. Their past episodes, or you can catch them doing their stuff live on KVJ TV. So go to kvjshow.com or wrmf.com, get all the info on the show, and follow them on Twitter, on Facebook. You can also follow the KVJ Show fan club pages. Well, the Twitter account is KVJ Nation, Facebook account is KVJ Nation Club KVJ, or you can just, I think you just search for KVJ Nation, it'll still come up. And Instagram also on KVJ Nation. You'll get to know the super fans of the KVJ Show. And Jason himself is at Jason Bigfoot on Twitter. He's, I believe, Jason KVJ on Instagram, and like I said, they're also on Facebook. So follow him, follow the show, tune in, listen. They're amazing. He has his Snack Pack group, which is like a rap group. They come up with the most incredible songs, awesome songs. He also he does movies. Clowns Have Murderous Ways is one of them. He does videos like My Sweet Sasquatch. Look both of those up on YouTube. You will not be disappointed at the level of weird entertainment you will be gifted with if you look up My Sweet Sasquatch or Clowns Have Murderous Ways, which yours truly died in, and it was exhilarating. And he has upcoming stuff coming up too. But the reason I say he's like the epitome of what this podcast is trying to do, which is inspiring people to not get stuck in a rut and to live their life and pursue their passions, is because he won a contest to be on the radio, essentially. And so on this podcast, he talked about just how he got involved with the show and everything that was involved with getting on, and the contest, and what he had to do to get on the show, which that's a funny story. So he talks about how he got into the show, why he's passionate about life, a lot of his life philosophies he gets into, and a lot of that mirrors exactly what I'm trying to promote. So it's a really, really great podcast. He's super funny. And I also gathered some questions from KVJ Show fans. So you'll hear some of those and get those answers on here too. But he's awesome. But anyways, this podcast is sponsored. And it is sponsored by Soul Experiences, which is my friend Lynn's company. She's just getting off the ground, and she's literally just hit the ground running. She's doing an awesome job. She has Pub Crawl. It's coming up on Saturday, so by the time this is live, it'll already have passed, but you don't want to miss the next one. She does events that, we can take to Key West, and she does all kinds of, which I went on a trip with her there. She does all kinds of fun stuff in and around town, and, she knows how to party and make people have a really great time in South Florida. So look her up on Twitter at Soul Experiences. It's Soul, S-O-L, as in the sun. There's no U, S-O-L Experiences. She's also on Facebook, and I know that there's a website, but I don't want to accidentally give out the wrong URL, and I think she may have been changing it. So I just want to make sure you guys look her up on Facebook and Twitter. It's Soul, no U, Experiences, one word, and join in her event. And if you mention Flintstone Media, anytime you go to her event and you mention Flintstone Media, you will get a discount. So what's better than that? And a lot of her events also benefit our favorite charity, Little Smiles. So definitely get involved and look up Soul Experiences. But first, tune in, sit back, relax, and get ready to laugh, because Jason's awesome on this the 19th episode of Curve the Cube, your South Florida Arts and Entertainment podcast. This is Jemmy. Enjoy! Curve the Cube will now initiate.
Jason, please.
Oh, he's right there.
Jason, please come to the front desk. Here's your visitor's badge.
Oh, I get an official visitor's badge. Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
What's up? Do you want to do it
I'm a visitor.
here, or do you want to do it in the lake?
Wherever you want.
Well, I thought the lake, you could intro, be like, we're by the lake.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that.
All right.
Yeah, it's different,
Nice
right?
and cozy, to
Well,
use
will
your
that
words.
mess up
See
the
you later.
audio for you?
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
I've done them outside a couple
All right,
times.
cool. I'm kind of more of a...
It's not that windy outside. It
If
should
you're
be
going to do a
fine.
podcast, might as well do it kind of neat
Fun.
and a different...
Yeah, especially when this is my only equipment.
Yeah, so we're just talking to that?
Yeah, and I'm recording now.
Okay.
I start early.
That's okay.
Is that alright? How are you?
I'm good. Trying to wipe off my fake glasses.
It's a nice bag.
Thank you.
Actually, I really like it. Do you remember where you got it?
I do not remember where I got it. I might get it from Walmart. Bye, Max. Have fun with you today.
Oh, Maggie was in there?
Yeah, she was
I didn't even think about it.
She was there all day.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. So thank you so much for doing the podcast. Yeah, we're sitting over here by the lake. It's nice
We
out.
are by the lake.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a lot of nature out here. It's kind
Lots
of
of
hot.
nature.
I got an Atlanta braid.
You have 2 layers on. You should take one off.
Well, if I take it off, then I'm going to get half naked. What kind of podcast are you trying to do here,
This is an
Jenny?
uncensored podcast. I mean, it's never gone as
shit.
racist as the KBG show after show, but, you know, I do my best.
Yeah. No,
I'll take off my top if you take off
Wow.
yours.
I mean,
Said
nah.
nobody ever.
Yes. So
No,
what are we delving into on this podcast?
Well, you know, the purpose of the podcast is to inspire people to go for their dreams. And I think you have one of the most amazing stories out there. You know, well, first, for anyone who's not familiar with the show, which is unimaginable, but for anybody who's not,
no, totally.
I know.
There's people that still that listen to us, you know, back when we were at Wild 95.5, and I still get people emailing me, hey, when are you guys going to get it back on the air? I'm
Wow.
like, been on the air for 7 months.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Well, go to Twitter, go to my Facebook page, call me.
we can't swear, correct?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
swear.
got ya.
Yeah, so what was, first of all, what's the show? What makes the show so different? Because it's very different. It breaks the morning show formula. How does it do that?
I think, you know, today in radio, it seems like everyone's kind of doing the same exact show. You've got your prank phone call, you've got the one girl that does the entertainment, and then you've got a lot of music playing in there. And, you know, my personal opinion is I think people like to either hear one or the other. I don't think they want to hear music and talking, because what if you're in the middle of a great bit,
right,
and there is a conclusion of that bit, and you're only driving for 25 minutes, so you may only have time to hear 2 segments of a show. If you do that, if you all of a sudden are in this great bit, you want to hear the conclusion, and you could hear the conclusion, right? And then all of a sudden,
you gotta get up
Dark Horse comes on by Katy Perry or Happy, or whatever is coming on.
Right.
That, I think that annoys people,
It does.
and that everyone wants to go back 3 or 4, 8 hours later to find it online on a pod. I know that's what everyone does.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's also whatever happened to being convenient right then and there.
Right.
Pay it off.
It is
right
annoying
there.
as a listener when you get into a car, and if you're really getting into, or like you feel like you've just missed something.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, well, let me gear up for the next bit, and more than half of your car ride is taken up by commercials, the music, and you're waiting. So then something finally comes on, and you're like, oh, and you're 5 minutes into it, and then you gotta, or 2 minutes into it, and you gotta get out your car.
I love Billy Joel. I love cooking shows. So let's just say I'm watching a cooking show, and I'm into this cooking show, and it's big time. Never do I ever want to how do you make that? How do you make that? Okay, let's pause before I get the conclusion so I can hear a couple Billy Joel.
Play a Billy Joel video.
It doesn't belong together. When I want to listen to Billy Joel, I'm going to go listen to Billy Joel, and when I want to go watch TV or listen to something else, to me it's a very 1970s mentality. Yeah, you know what I mean? When you have both, you got to have both. People love. I mean, you as a listener, do you want to hear a song mixed in with your content? Does it seem a little jumbled?
Every once in a while it's nice, because I do like, there's something to say about when you're driving in the car and you do like to rock out and sing, but not when it's interrupting good talk content.
I agree with you. I think when you have a great song on the radio,
if it's a bad show, interrupt it all you want. But yours is a good show.
If it's a song that if you're just cruising down the street and you got the radio and you're listening to tunes, music, I'm so for it. Turn up that bitch and sing your favorite song. But if you're in the middle of doing like content, I mean,
but it's also like you were saying. I was listening to the show earlier. It's also like you were saying, because at any given time I can, if I'm in a dark horse mood, I can turn it on easy from YouTube, wherever.
Yeah.
But I can't be like, oh, I really want to hear a segment where Jason blows it on the controls.
Exactly.
And just go to,
you want that payoff.
Pandora and look at it.
You want that payoff.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's not as available as any random song you want to listen to.
I agree. You cannot go on YouTube or Google and just type out certain content that's not done yet on a radio show.
I mean, you can do generally, like, I want to look up, I want to find KVJ stuff and listen. Yeah, I can do that all day long.
Though.
But if I want to find something specific,
immediate and right now,
it's different. So if I'm driving in the car and listening to something, I want to be able to listen to it all the way through.
Sure,
when it's a talk show.
But then again, I am the person that is.
Yeah, but
I'm on the other side, so I'm always going to say, "Oh, gonna talk." No, fuck the music.
But at the same time, you listen to the listeners.
I do, and I really do, and I only go by. I usually know when something's really good on the show, and I usually know when something's not very good on the show. And when the one common complaint I've always gotten about with radio and our show is anytime we've played music, why the hell are you guys playing so many songs?
Now, or the freak out of, oh my God, is something happening to the show again?
The commercials is something we're never going to be able to control, because that's how we get paid, and that's how everyone gets paid. And, there is some dancing you have to do if you want to be on a show.
But I'm sure there's probably some business behind the music, too,
of course.
But...
Of course.
But I think there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, but you asked, what makes us different. I think there's a lot of shows out there that doesn't have a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
We really do actually like each other on and off the microphone. Yeah. And we've been through a lot of history together, a lot of horse shit.
Yeah.
And I think anytime you go through a war or horse shit together with somebody, you just,
it bonds you.
You have history.
Forget it. It bonds you.
There's guys I played baseball with. I didn't necessarily like them.
Yeah.
I didn't really get along with their personality. But I would still take a bullet from them to this day just because of our history together.
Mm-hmm.
You play baseball with a guy for 5 to 6 years. You're in a little bit of a war together. You're going to do something for that guy.
So so I know we know the story is like, there was a contest and you submitted and all this. But what was the experience like for you? Like, why did you jump the gun and say, let me put my hand in the pot? Like, how was that like?
I had gone to broadcasting school.
So you had been to CSB before?
Yes, I had, and I just graduated. See, what had happened was
Connecticut School of Broadcasting. It doesn't know.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Yes, I was coaching little kids in baseball at a baseball school. I used to work at the Buckington Baseball School, and then I helped run and put together the Tommy Hutton Baseball Academy School up here in Jupiter, and those are a lot of my friends. And but when I realized that I needed to go back to school, because I knew I wasn't going to make a ton of money. Not that it's all about money, but I wasn't getting that gratification. If I'm not going to make money off of something, I want to be able to
enjoy it.
Yes, I want to have some gratification out of it, and I wasn't getting the gratification.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with the kids. I loved coaching kids. It was the fucking parents. Mm-hmm. Parents, what are you doing? Don't be so crazy.
Pressure!
Well, it's not even that. It'd be like, kids 8 years old, and you get this twinkie dad coming up to me, and everyone called me Coach Chicken Tender. They'll be like,
I wonder where that came from.
Hey, Coach Chicken Tender, do you think my kid has any shot playing Division I baseball? Look, you fucking weirdo, I don't know. He's 8. Have him go paint a picture. Have him learn a bunch of things.
Ride a bike.
And I get it. That's your kid. And you want the best for your kid. But some parents got it. Some parents did not. And there was a lot of bad sportsmanship from parents. And I just didn't want to deal with that horse shit anymore.
I think it's just gotten worse and worse over the years. So probably if you were to do it now, you'd probably be even more out of your mind.
Don't get me. I love coaching. I loved coaching. I loved baseball. I loved doing it all. I loved doing all of that stuff. But I knew that there was the other stuff that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was not, if you're not able to call your own shots as a coach, it can be very frustrating.
Right.
And I was frustrated by that.
Right.
So.
And so you heard about, how did you hear about it?
So I never listened to morning show radio ever. I hated radio. Hated it. I was a big music person. Had no idea what I was doing.
After that 10-minute rant, you say, I was a big music person.
I was. No, absolutely. I'm like, who gives a shit about what people want to talk about? But, with that said, I never gave it a chance.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready to go into graduate school and get my master's degree.
Oh my gosh.
And
talk about a fork in the road.
Yes, I was going to go to FAU for mental health counseling. Yes.
Because what? All your other therapists turn you down. You become your own.
I feel like crazy people know how to relate to, help other crazy people. And that, again, for me, that was something that was going to be about self-gratification.
Yeah.
To be able to go in there and try to actually, like, work.
Make a difference.
Yeah, and help people. That's really big, I think. And I think, to me, that's missing in a lot of people's lives. And it doesn't always have to be about helping somebody, although that's a great
passion.
That's a great avenue to go down to. But yeah, for me, that was going to be something where I could go to bed every night being like, okay, this is good. I can really
that's what I want this podcast to inspire people to do, is to go for it.
Absolutely. Well, why would you not go for it? I have never been a person to think anything's impossible.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, a lot of the hate emails that I will get. A lot of the hate emails that I'll get, a knock on my personality and my character, will be, Jason, you believe in too much. You believe in this, which may be true, but you got to believe in something.
But that burns me up a little bit, because you have to be open-hearted in order to make things happen in this world. Like, if you think about everybody who's made a big difference or had a huge influence on our culture, is because they believed in something that nobody else wanted to believe in. And I just figure you're just doing that. You're just living your life.
And to me, I think passion and I think encouragement are two traits that really aren't practiced enough in the world. Encouraging somebody can change their life. Having a positive perspective and a positive influence in your life can keep somebody doing and staying on the right path for their dream.
It's funny you say that, because it just reminded me of something I used to do a lot, which was drop random compliments on people.
Yeah.
They would all be true,
Sure.
I'll always be honest, but because I don't feel like people do that enough. People don't compliment each other, even if it's a random person who you see doing something nice or whatever. And so I'm going to start doing that again.
Well, if you have a friend in your life, and if you are close to your friends, which you should be, if they're your friend, you want to go through a wall for that person. And if you know your friend's into something, encourage them. If that really unless it's like cocaine or murder, you don't want to encourage
you
that.
Go tackle that cocaine mountain, girl. You do it.
If it's something that's really giving them a positive influence, be their biggest cheerleader. Really support that. That really will mean a difference.
Absolutely.
And a pat on the back can go a long way. And people forget that.
Absolutely.
And just being passionate, loving whatever if you love sweeping floors, there's no knock on that.
Right.
Fucking sweep some floors. Sweep floors and turn on your music.
Love it.
But have passion.
Make yourself
behind
a neon broom. Like, do it.
Have passion with what you're doing and make that a conscious thought.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And so how did you transition into I heard something about like a boot camp or something?
One of my best friends, girlfriend at the time, now his wife, said, hey, Jason, she didn't really call me Jaybird. She said, Wild 95.5 is having a contest and they're looking for some kind of extra person on the show. And I okay, whatever. And she called me like 2 different times. She's like, seriously, you need to do this because I think you're going to win. I'm like, I'll look into it. Well, I had no idea that this was even what was going to happen, but the producer of the show at the time was Mariana. And Mariana,
that's how you met. Okay.
I knew Mariana from going to college. Mariana had dated a buddy of mine a long time ago.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I'll give her a ring.
Yeah.
And I'll just see what it's about. She explained to me what it was about.
And this was before you guys were living together, obviously.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we were friends. We were never romantically involved. But she was and still is.
Living together as friends.
Absolutely. Like me and Dennis. People always ask me, Jason, you're in your 30s. Why do you live with somebody? What, and I like having, of course I could have my own place. Of course I could be on my own. But to me, that's depressing. I love living with producer Dennis because he is, and I've talked about it on the podcast before, he is such a great person to work with because he doesn't, there are some times when you work in a collaborative effort, it can slow down the process when you have so many cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
And a lot of ideas flying at one time. And I can say, at least with writing music, I like doing that by myself.
Okay.
That's a big thing that I like to be able to come up with ideas, and I like to lock myself in a room.
Yeah.
And I like to come up with a concept. And it's hard sometimes when you have 30 people shouting ideas. Now, with that said, I was forced to collaborate with some of the guys with the snack pack, and that helped me do other things, and that helped me grow on that area. But ultimately, I do like to do things on my own on that level, but there is something to be learned anytime you get in a collaborative environment. You can learn a lot, and I highly recommend anyone that is creative and that likes to write and likes to do that kind of stuff, even though you may feel uncomfortable getting involved with another person, challenge yourself. Because they always say you're not doing anything great unless you're outside your comfort zone, and that is true.
Were you doing Snack Pack stuff before the radio? Or
Oh yeah, I've been writing music and writing stuff since I was 11. I was never allowed out of my house. Because of my mom. My mom had agoraphobia, and she always thought I was going to get kidnapped. So as a little kid, I was forced to always write plays and write little movies and write songs, and that was my entire childhood. Was writing, and me and my sisters and brother doing plays and doing stuff like that. It forced us to be very creative.
So speaking about your mom, I actually wanted to ask you a question about her, because I know you guys were so close.
Very.
What? And she's been gone now how long?
She passed away 2009, November.
2009, okay.
Yeah, well, she was on her deathbed for a solid week. She was in a coma. She had a massive heart attack out of the blue. Nobody knew anything was wrong. She had actually just gone to a doctor not that long ago, and everything came back fine. I was doing an appearance over at Ouzo Blue down off PGA Boulevard. Had a few drinks that night, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and my roommate Marianne at the time woke me up and said, "Hey, your sister's on the phone." And she's like, she said something about your mom, and it doesn't sound good. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck is this about? So I get on the phone, and I don't know if you've ever been on the phone with someone with bad news. There's something different in someone's voice.
Totally different.
When they have...
Sometimes you can just hear it in how they're pausing or breathing. It's totally different.
And she had said, Mom had a heart attack. She's in the hospital, and it doesn't look good. I was like, what the fuck? It doesn't look good.
Right.
So Mariana got me in the car. We drove down to the Gardens Hospital, and we get there, and... when I got there, she was already on her, her bed, and then they said, we're going to try to revive her. I'm like, oh my gosh! It's like all kind of these, all different kinds of emotions. So you're thinking, oh, now maybe she has a chance. You don't know.
Right.
So 20 minutes before,
but you don't want to totally give in.
20 minutes before that, I thought she was a complete goner. Then there's like, oh, she might possibly make it. So that was that whole day had happened. This was all during Thanksgiving break, and. So that happened she was holding on for, a couple days. And by day 3, your hope usually kind of starts to dwindle after day 2 or day 3. Day 3, you're like, okay, she's still holding on, but not like every single day a different organ was shutting down. So you were going to the hospital for bad news. Right. But yeah, that was a very tough moment, just because it was so public. Because my mom,
I listened to it.
Yeah, much like Ann on the air now. My mom was a huge part of the morning show, and if you ask a portion of our audience, she was their favorite part of the show.
In fact, actually, I take that back. I became a listener after she was already ill. Okay. But I remember, during her passing and all that, and I know how spiritual you are. And,
I try to be.
Yeah. I know you have to believe that she has a spirit out there and everything. Sure. What if there was one thing out of everything you've done, in the last 5 years with Snack Pack, with the show, with Little Smiles, with everything you've done, your movies. Yep. If there was one thing you're like, I really hope she saw that. It's easy. What would that be?
Me giving my kidney away to my best friend, Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, and
did you feel her during that?
Absolutely. It was weird. I was going through a very weird time during that period because that was 2011. My mom passed away 2009. You never get over. I don't care if it's a person on the street. I don't care if it's a dog. Anybody in your life that's touched you, or you've had a great relationship that's really affected your life, you never truly get over that death. You get better with it, and you deal with it better because you have no choice.
But they're now missing.
You deal with all that stuff a little bit better, but you never truly are the same. I mean, I have moments all the time thinking about my mom they'll bring me, down and sad. But during that experience, I was, 2 things are going on. Jim needed his life saved. He had to get his life saved,
and he's such a great guy.
Great guy, and that was a no-brainer. I would have whatever organ that he would have needed, I would have done that. Yeah. And I know a lot of people that would have done that. But I felt my mom's presence big time during that, because I know if she was alive, she would have been worried about it, but she would have gotten why I was doing it. I would have heard her bitch and moan about it, but at the end of the day, she'd have been like, "Hey, bud, you know, you're doing the right thing." She would have said that. And then I also had broken up with somebody, and that was something that had gone on for, it seemed like, 8 million years, one of those kind of things. And I was a bit confused during that time, and there was a lot of just reflecting on your life a lot during that time. And to me, all that happened at such a great time, because that was definitely, you talk about spiritual stuff, that was a big spiritual moment and crossroad for me, just because you think about your mortality, you think about your death, you think about what happens to me when I die, what happens to my mom when I die, what happens to Jim if something was to happen to him. You go through the what ifs.
What was your thought process like as you're being wheeled into the operating room? And
I was on the air, live on the air.
That's right, you were.
I mean, I can't tell you,
That's right.
Through my mom's experience, through the kidney experience, through through the Miami experience, if I didn't have the people supporting me and doing stuff like that, it would have been a lot harder. I mean, we were talking about encouragement and positivity and all that stuff. I mean, there's always going to be haters. Mother Teresa had haters. There's a lot of people who had haters, but in life you gotta look at it and say, what am I getting? What am I getting the majority of? And the majority is positive people. And they absolutely, during my mom and during the kidney thing and even during the Miami thing, people just encouraging and being very positive absolutely was a spiritual uplifting. Just the way it was.
I want to ask you one more question about because it may be when you're talking about your mom and we're talking about the surgery and all of that.
I might have not even answered any of your questions.
No, you're doing great.
I just go on tangents.
You're doing awesome. I'm just wondering, were you as close to Michelle, Jim's mom, before as you are now during the surgery? Yeah,
I've always been close with the Romanos.
And how does that family feel about you, tonguing her down at every snack pass?
Oh, look, I've never used tongue when I kiss her. Yeah, Jim's mom is the cougar lady in the snack pack, and when we sing the cougar song, yes, I do make her kiss, no tongue. But to answer your question, I think you're right. Anytime you give an organ and to save someone's life, it's impossible for you not to even be that much closer. Right. We were way closer before then, but I suppose we would be a lot closer now. Yeah, totally.
Amazing. There's so many questions I want to ask, but I want to ask you some fan questions.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so, one question, this actually comes from me. How do you define weird? You use that word a lot.
Well, there's two kinds of weird. Yeah. There is, oh my gosh, you're so crazy, you're so weird, you put mustard all over your face, ha ha ha. Then there's the other weird, I'm going to touch you and I'm going to get weird with you.
The creepy weird.
The creepy weird. That's not what we're ever going for. That's horrible. Weird is not giving a shit of who you really are.
Right.
And getting weird reactions from people. Normal's so fucking boring.
So the question, Scotty...
And by the way, everyone is weird.
Everybody
people are
weird.
Just afraid to admit being weird. They're afraid people are going to bully them, or they're afraid someone's going to say something mean to them. Newsflash, no matter what you do in life, someone's going to always say something mean to you. So just do your shit anyway.
I forget what award ceremony it was, some TV thing, and I didn't watch it, but I heard about it, a guy on there, and he was bullied and stuff, and people called him weird when he was growing up. Anyways, he won an award, and during his acceptance speech, he's like, everybody stay weird, stay strange, like, be yourself. I thought that was awesome.
Well, we're all going to die one day.
We are.
And when you're on your deathbed, and this is not a morbid statement, this is more of a positive statement. We're all going to die. We all have that in common. So that kind of takes away the fear a hair, just because we all have to go through it.
So many other people have been through it.
There's strengths and numbers when you have everyone going through it. So when you look at it that way, and it's okay to be afraid of dying. I mean, I think if you're not afraid of dying, it's a little, yeah, it's okay to have these fears. What was the question?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's like are we smoking a joint here?
Well, what's not on video?
I swear, there's no pot smoking going on here.
So Scotty Fusion asked me to ask you this.
Okay.
Well, he knows the truth, but he wants it posed on the podcast. Speaking of weird and touching people, Did you really put your feet all over his face for Clowns Have Murderous Ways?
Absolutely. Wait, I can't remember. I mean, look, here's the thing. I can't remember if I did not really put my... Because now you're talking about a scene that no one even knows about.
Yeah, it was cut, yeah.
This was a cut scene from Clowns Have Murderous Ways. And, no, I did not... I can't remember if I put my feet on his face or not. The bottom line is I have no problem putting my feet on anybody's face. I will do just about anything for comedy or a laugh.
Right.
I really don't have any reservations. People ask me all the time, do you care what people think about you when you do that or say that? No, I really don't, because I was on the...
Have you always been that way, or has that come over time?
Well, I just, the way I look at it is we do an entertainment show.
Yeah.
And if I'm not trying to be entertaining on the show, then what the fuck am I getting paid for?
Right.
And I come from the school of Saturday Night Live when it was good. And maybe it is still good to the youth. I don't know. I think every generation says theirs was better than...
No, you're right. When it was good.
It's not that good. But, yeah, I mean, Phil Hartman and Adam Sandler, all those guys, they would get... They'd be,
whatever.
They'd be naked. They'd kiss each other. They would do whatever it took to get a laugh, and I admire that. Again, that's loving your craft.
Yeah.
And the motherfuckers that are saying, "Why are you doing that? That's so stupid." Those are the people living a non-passionate life. They're not happy with their life, because if they were happy with their life, they wouldn't be on Twitter. They wouldn't be on Facebook. They wouldn't be on YouTube saying, "This fucking sucks.
Yeah,
you suck." I mean. And there's some things that we do on the show that absolutely suck. I get that.
But then you just don't do it again.
Yeah.
You learn.
And it's funny, the people that say, and it's always so funny getting a critique from just a plain hater and a true fan of the show. Because if a fan gives a critique and hates a segment, they usually say, "Look, I love the show, but I thought that was in poor taste. I thought that sucked, but love the show."
Yeah, and they're doing it to support you and make you better.
Usually that's a critique, and that's usually somebody that's going to try to... Now, there's a difference between that and, "You fucking suck, get off the fucking..."
Keyboard warrior bullshit.
Keyboard warrior, they don't... I mean, they're not giving any kind of critique. And they usually have a picture of their profile pic of a vehicle, of a truck, of a car. Usually.
Or just a gun.
Or a gun.
So I wanted to ask you, so let's see. Well, Shelby Marston, she wanted to ask you what... She says, "I really would like to know where your Bigfoot obsession came from, and what is it that really got you into your quest for Bigfoot. But I would add to that, which came first, your obsession with Bigfoot or your buddy Bigfoot's nickname, Bigfoot?"
Obsession with Bigfoot.
How did he get his nickname, though? Was it tied to your obsession somehow?
Because he's the Bigfoot in the snack pack. And he is, without a doubt, in his heyday. He's a little bit older now, plus having the kidneys slowed down a bit, but he was the craziest motherfucker that I've ever known, met. One of, if not the best offensive baseball players I played with. Oh, he was... Jim had...
he probably hits it out the park with all that height and everything.
Exceptional talent when it came to hitting.
Yeah.
Just a great ball player. He was very popular in high school. And the cool thing about Jim was he was very popular in high school, and the guy always had time to talk to you.
Everybody.
About your problems or try to be there. Big heart. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great trait. He's Italian. And I feel like a lot of times Italians' loyalty is a big trait, and for me, loyalty is
reputation.
Reputation, not so much.
Oh yeah, that's mafia. Sorry.
Yeah, reputation.
That's more the mafia side.
Yeah, my reputation. My reputation.
Oh, this is true. I forgot who I was talking to.
Depending on who you ask, my reputation is a little shaky.
So where does the whole?
But Bigfoot,
well, obviously you're my sweet Sasquatch, but you're making out with him. Like, where does the obsession with Bigfoot? Where does that come from?
I growing up, I loved all things magical, all things mystical.
Not including unicorns.
Not including unicorns, but all kidding aside, there's actual some science to show that absolutely Bigfoot could possibly exist now, and there's a lot of science and a lot of support to show that he indeed or she did. The species, and I'm going to probably butcher the name, but Gigantopithecus.
I think that sounded right.
Yes, is a 10-foot...
Or Gigantopithecus.
No, I think it's...
Okay, I think you're right. Yeah.
It was a monkey or a gorilla type animal that did exist. It was like a 9-foot fucking monkey that roamed around all over the world. Or I'm sure someone's going to look it up and say, no, it was only in Argentina. Back in the day, there was like a 9-foot, 10-foot gorilla type monkey that without a doubt did roam the earth.
Wow.
It's a real... Now, the name was Giganopithecus, but in layman, that's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's a Bigfoot.
There are videos and of a couple of
the video.
Well, no, not those. I'm saying of legitimate gorillas, like in zoos, where that they actually will walk on both feet, and I'm sure.
Now, do I think it's Harry and the Henderson and he's in a... No. I've been on the air and I've said, I don't think that's what Bigfoot is.
Yeah.
But do I think in this massive world, is there a chance that there's a species we have not yet discovered? Of course there is. And anyone that says there's not, anyone says that there's not a chance of that, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, because every single year, scientists produce and put out species that have not been discovered yet.
Well, they even just figured that Neanderthal, they realized that Neanderthal was a lot smarter than literally they've ever thought.
Us humans are changing shit all weekly. Oh no, it's not real. Oh no, it is real. Don't eat yogurt. It's bad.
I was going to say food.
No, eat yogurt. It's great for you. It's different every fucking time.
All right. So let's see. Well, Lynn wanted to know what you were studying before the KVJ show.
I graduated in communications, and I was getting ready to get my master's degree in mental health counseling. Now, I know some motherfuckers are going to say,
yeah, you're going to joke.
Did he take the GRE? Yeah, I was in the process of doing all of it. I was literally good. No, I was seriously going to get my degree in mental health counseling. That's really what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know, so she also wanted to know, okay, you've known Panda, Virginia's husband, since high school,
I was about
right?
13, yes.
And how did he earn the nickname, this is actually my question, but how did he earn the nickname Snake? She wants to know what he was like in high school.
It was the dumbest. I give people nicknames on such dumb, quick experiences. We were on the air, and we were doing that question-answer thing where you have to know your spouse or your mate.
Yeah.
And it was like, I just asked on the air, I go, what would you have done, Virginia? Would you still be with your husband or your man if you found out, like, in his early 20s he was a big, like, drug lord and he had all these hookers and all these, like, skanks underneath him, and he went by the drug lord nickname Snake? And he thought it was the funniest shit, and I was laughing at it, and I don't think anyone else in the world thought it was funny but me and him. But ever since then, I'm calling you Snake.
Calling you Snake.
So it really is the dumbest way to give a nickname, but I love calling him Snake.
All right, Estelle, who also works at the station, Estelle
Love
Chaka,
Estelle.
She's
great.
Awesome. One of my boos. She said, if you were ever stuck on an island with Kevin Virginia, who would you eat first?
Who would I eat first?
Yeah. I almost went one way when I was thinking, how would you answer? And then I kind of went another way.
Definitely Virginia.
I was first going to say Kevin, and then I thought about it through. I'm like, no, it would be Virginia.
Biting through Kevin's going to be biting through a fucking, like, like a manatee. It's going to be tough, tough skin. It's going to be all health tasted. No.
You got to move him around. That's a whole nother chore.
It's going to be like eating a seal. It's going to be very tough to do. And plus, he eats health food easily. Virginia, she eats better food than he does. And it's a chick.
She'll be a bit more flavorful.
Yeah, I agree.
And let's see. All right, so, and Jen Marston had another question. She said, I'm not sure if they are still under the gag order, but I'd like to know if they finally settled out of court with Cox. And if so, how it went. If you can't answer that, then I want to know how nervous you get before a snack pack show. So just ask a couple different things.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not one to ever try to dodge questions if I can't answer it. Yeah, there's still possibly, the best way I'll answer it, and there's really not much dirt there. Yeah, we're still trying to, there's still some things that we aren't able to talk about, but, I mean, it's pretty much just about a done deal.
Right. Right. Okay. And you guys have said so much.
It really is just about there's really not. I mean, I think we were even on the podcast before talking about, certain moments down in my. We're definitely able to talk about just about anything there. So the court stuff really is like non-existent right now.
Right.
I don't even know if that's even.
What a relief, though, for real. That's over. What a nightmare that was.
Yeah.
All right, Captain KVJ, he wants to know...
Oh, what you asked about the snack pack show.
Oh, I did. I did.
Absolutely. I think anytime you are doing anything that you want to make sure that you do good at, or, have a good experience for everybody involved, you should always be a little bit nervous. Now, I'm never nervous on the morning show, usually. That doesn't ever happen. But for a snack pack show, it's not over nerves. It's not, it's never about performing. My biggest thing about doing snack pack shows or any kind of event like that, I get nervous about making sure there's enough people there. That's what I get nervous about, because I have done some shows where the crowd may not. I mean, I've done some really big shows.
Yeah.
And if you do one big show, everyone's going to expect every show to be like that.
Right.
And that's not the case always. So for me, I only get nervous. It's never about performing. It's always about whether or not enough people are going to be there for the show. And then once I see the people are filling in, then we're good to go. But if it's like 10 minutes before, I'm like, oh, fuck, there's tumbleweeds here.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to suck, which can't happen.
So, and Jackie Roberts has a question, but I want to intro it by saying my thing with the show is kind of come full circle in that I'm hopefully now going to help you with becoming Jason Pizza Pennington,
Sure.
which is a result of like a stunt type of thing.
Yeah.
You guys had a bit. But what sucked me into the show, the very first time that I really was like, oh my God, I got to listen to the show, was flipping through the channels. And it was...
What year did you start listening?
Oh God. I mean, literally it was during earlier part of your mom being sick, I think. So
Okay.
maybe 2010 at the most.
Got ya.
Is when I first dialed in, and you were doing a stunt where I guess you guys like raided the prop room or something. And you took a whole bunch of random crap and you went to a hotel.
Oh,
and all this stuff in your trunk, and you're seeing at what point will the hotel person say, okay, no, you can't rent a room, and you had like a stack of old porn.
Look at this. Look at what you're doing. You're making me write idea notes, because I love that bit. Not that we're going to redo that bit, but we can do...
It was so funny. You had a pelican.
That reminds me
freaking
of...
pelican. You had one of those
the same pelican that was in For Will It Bite.
Really?
It's the same pelican.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see here.
Star.
That was Will.
You had rope, duct tape.
Yeah.
And you just kept bringing it in, and then I think the pelican was the last thing, and I think he let you still rent a room. It was hilarious.
Yeah, no, I love this kind of stunts. I love this kind of bits. A lot of times we can't do them now live, just because of the way everything moves so quickly.
Right.
And I try to push for more live stunts, but the thing that's gonna bite me in the ass, the last time we tried doing a stunt live, it fell fucking flat.
Which one? I remember that. What was that again?
It was the Gaytona, where we were gonna do
right, the drag queens.
It was
right, and they were like
it was during the Daytona 500. And we were doing it live down here, and none of the bikes worked. We had 5 contestants down here.
Right.
And they had to go around the circles, and none of the bikes worked. Nothing worked. That was all live on the air. Although, I will say, I kind of like when shit goes wrong. I find it very funny. I find it very human when mistakes happen.
It's true. It's part of your, what makes you guys endearing.
Who wants to hear a flawless show? I know I don't. I find that annoying, actually.
It is annoying.
Yeah.
So what would be, if you had a stunt that either was your favorite or least favorite, that one or the other or both, what would you do? What would
favorite stunt?
That's from Jackie Roberts.
Favorite stunt was my very first stunt I did when I went into Taco Bell and posed as the manager and ran the entire restaurant
Shut up.
for over 2 hours.
Did they know? Were they part of it?
No one.
What?
This was when radio was at a different... I could never do this stunt again. But I was literally in Taco Bell for 2 hours. I put the girl that didn't speak very good English on the headset. I hired a girl.
What?
All within 2 hours.
Wait, where was the other real manager?
There was a young kid, about 19 years old, and I said I was from corporate, from Irvine, California. We did all this. I did all this because I wasn't on the show yet. This is actually the stunt that won me. Kevin told. I'd already been. I mean, I was already the member of
prime suspect.
I was already a member, but this was like the last thing that I did, and yeah, it was the best stunt. And then we weren't able to run it again because of legalities.
Yeah. Well, now you're on the show, and yeah.
Well, just because of legalities, you can't go into a restaurant pose as. I mean, that I would get arrested.
Well, that's what I mean.
I'd
like,
get
it's
arrested
not even
today.
just you now because you're on the show. It would be the show.
2015, I'd get fucking arrested now. And that's why people ask, why don't you do as many crazy stunts? If you notice, we do crazy stunts in studio more with us, because when you do a crazy stunt out in public, someone could potentially sue you.
Well, do you have anything that you've regretted? Captain KVJ was wondering too. If you regretted.
Yes, I had become a huge animal lover when I got into my 30s, and there was a stunt that
I can't imagine you not one, actually.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't love animals before, but I really I found a great appreciation for animals and just for all life forces. I know I sound like I'm like a very trippy person, but it's just how
are,
it's just the way it is. And we did a stunt which I'm very ashamed of, and I would do anything to take it back, but it was where I had lobsters on my arms and I was trying to shave.
And they had to bite. they were flying at you or something like that?
It was just mean. It was a dicky stunt. And
I think I remember that.
If I could... Look, animal lovers, whatever you say to me, I've said it to myself a billion. There's nothing PETA could say to me.
Yeah.
There's nothing they could tweet. There's nothing anyone could say to me that does not make me feel like a horrible human being for doing that. And I can honestly say that horrible experience, I at least tried to make myself a better person by, at least having some reverence for animals and stuff like that.
That's good.
Yeah, but I still feel like a complete shithead for that.
But that speaks to who you are, though.
Yeah, but there's no excuse. I mean, and honestly, nobody even called me out on it. No one said anything to me. It was just something that really did gnawed at my heart and at my soul. That was the one I regret the most.
All right, so let's do a speed round.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So literally, you know these. Don't think, just answer.
Yep.
If all grocery stores had to eliminate either soda or sauce aisle, which would it be?
Soda.
Oh, that's not only because you're on a soda list.
I'm sorry. No. Here's my reasoning behind that. I thought this was a quick round.
It is, but I gotta ask.
It is because I can still get down on a very flavorful. I mean, I love Tahitian treat. I love Hawaiian punch.
Yeah.
I love so many other. I love Kool-Aid. I love anything that's got flavor.
Did you name just 3 things that are red?
No, Kool-Aid's got grapes, it's got orange, it's got green, it's got all kinds. So I can still get my flavor. Sauce.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect Kool-Aid.
Yeah, sauce. There's restaurants I will not go to because I don't agree with their sauces. So
you need to make sure you have your own.
Gotta have sauce. Sauce
all right,
is way more important.
All right, so now literally this will be faster. All right, assless chaps or crotchless panties?
Wearing, or do I want to see them on a girl?
Just answer.
Well, I need to know the content.
Right, wearing.
Me wearing them?
Since you're asking the whole...
Fuck it, crotchless.
All right.
On a girl, all right, crotchless.
All right. What's your favorite part of your own body?
Favorite part of my physical body?
What other body?
I mean, I'm saying like a physical attribute. Yes. My personal favorite, I probably would say... My legs.
Your legs?
Just because they are the one part where, and they're not even that good, especially as I've gotten older, but, and I've never worked out with them, but because I walk on the balls of my feet, they are the most defined part of my body.
Your calves?
Absolutely, yeah, and it's only because I walk on my feet.
They're very sexy.
They're really not.
Gentlemen.
I need a tan, and I've lost weight. They look like kind of like I got like yams. They're like
what never before done pizza topping would you add to a menu?
Shit.
Yeah.
Never done Cheetos.
Oh my god, that was so gonna be my guess
Cheetos,
for you.
Yeah.
That was so gonna be my guess for you.
Cheetos at work. Fritos has been done. It's been well. Cheetos is probably. It sounds like.
I mean, someone's probably done it, but yeah, it's not like a restaurant carries it or something.
Well, I've never seen a honey mustard pizza. I don't know why.
Like as the sauce?
I've never seen that.
You don't think that'd be too much? Or can you never have too much honey mustard?
Maybe someone could argue maybe not enough.
Only if you have a side of honey mustard with it, duh.
You could totally cut chicken tenders on top of it with the cheese. Oh, that would absolutely
so instead
work.
of doing like a barbecue chicken,
do a honey mustard chicken. And I'm sure someone's got one.
Mellow mushroom pizza, girls. Somebody go do it. All right, and do you consider yourself to be more spiritual being or physical being? And here's what I mean when I ask that question. You definitely do a lot of physical stunts. You do a lot of stuff. But you're also very meditative. I try to be.
What
do you think is more you?
Don't get it twisted. There's time. Meditation. It takes work. Yeah. It's like it's something you have to do at least 20 minutes a day. And sometimes if you get out of that practice, which I am very guilty of, there's times where I really zone in on meditation, and my life is a lot more peaceful, a lot more easier. And there's times I just don't do it. I get caught up in the materials of the world, and I hate when that happens. I always try to be more grounded that way. I hate if my ego gets out of control and I get mad at things. And when I say ego, I'm not saying like everyone's got an ego. I just mean like I let why am I so hurt? Why am I so upset right now? What the fuck is going on? And when I get in that negative mindset, that brings everything down, man. That's a bummer for the spirit. So I try to get out of those moods, and everyone has those moods. Yeah. The key is recognizing them, and then what are you going to do to get out of those moods?
Well, kind of touching on that, and also touching on something you were talking about earlier, about whether or not you get nervous before a snack pack show or on the radio. When you were first starting, when you first got on the show, was there a time when you thought, oh my God, I'm in over my head, or I'm not the right person, or you freaked out?
No. And anytime anyone, this would be my advice to anybody, because I think everyone suffers from negative thinking.
Yeah.
Everyone's got that voice in your head at some point saying, you're not fucking good enough.
Absolutely.
You're not. Just think about it this way. Think about one day you're going to die.
Yeah.
It's it. Your card is punched, baby.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You think all that shit on Twitter or the guy down the street saying you suck, you think that matters at that point?
Right.
Fuck no. So when you are thinking those negative thoughts, just say, look, I'm gonna be dead one day. All those negative thoughts are not gonna matter. I mean, there's shit that Abraham Lincoln has done that people don't even talk about anymore.
Right.
My point being, you could be the greatest, most influential person in the world,
right,
and people are still gonna forget half of the shit that you've done. So what's the point of even worrying about it anyway?
Right.
Just do it. Do you.
Be happy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you have anything coming up for? Well, what's coming up for the show? Anything you want to promote or plug?
Yeah, we are.
On Monday, but
the Sunfest we are doing. The Snack Pack is doing the Barge on the first Wednesday, and it's going to be the first mature show we've ever done, where we're going to be able to do all of our songs, and I can say fuck and not see a little kid weeping in the corner,
so, or mother covering their ears.
So that Wednesday on the Barge, and your job too is to get KVJ Nation out there. I want this to be a party,
blowout,
a celebration of your life, and let's just get weird with it. That is going to be the let's get weird.
And Sunfest is
that's the Barge, not on stage. On the bar, they would not let me swear on stage. Yeah. So the Barge that Wednesday, we're turning it out, the RMF KVJ Barge.
Okay, awesome.
And that's that first Wednesday at Sunfest.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, listen, this conversation has been awesome.
Great.
And I know
it went longer too.
Yeah, but I wanted to. God, you're an awesome interview.
Well, thank you.
How weird is it? Weird to be interviewed like this when Kevin and Virginia aren't here?
Not at all. No, absolutely not. No, there's not much that weirds me out these days.
Well, I mean, weird like because you guys are such a well-oiled machine, and I know you guys each have your own. You know, if you were to split the show into, a pie, and there would be clear division as far as what you guys each bring, and so a lot of times you guys are interviewed together because that's what you are.
We've done interviews by ourselves too, and but I mean, I like just sitting down and rapping and just being able to, just talk. I mean, I'm a big believer in the podcast world, and I think it's only going to get bigger. So
yeah. Well, I thank you for being a part of mine.
Absolutely. Sure. We'll retweet it.
Do you want to, would you mind signing off the podcast?
How do we do that?
All you do is say, however you want, but you can say, like, this has been Jason, or Jason Pizza Pennington, whatever you want to say, with Curve the Cube.
Yep. This is Jason Pizza Pennington, and you've been listening to Curve the Cube. You don't have a station, so...
No station.
Bigfoot is real! Thank you for having me.
Thank you. High five.
You have successfully curved the cube.
Oh, hell yeah, I believe that Sasquatch lives beyond those trees. The Bigfoot species is just trying to find their place in this world. They are such lost souls. Sasquatch has always been elusive because humans have been abusive. Mankind has never really been kind at all. I'm so sorry for our ignorance, my sweet Sasquatch. You are misunderstood. You are mystical and pure, my gentle Sasquatch. Hiding out in those woods, you're the one I adore. Mi amor. Bigfoot has a gentle soul, and a spirit that you can't control.